I'm going to attempt to have a civilized conversation. Figure out what was going to work. Oh, let's see this. How you doing? Can I speak to your manager?
You know, if they ask you not to record them, you can't record them. You have to respect their wishes not being recorded.
State law says if you're in a public place open to the public, there's no expectation of privacy, which means they can ask, but I don't have to comply.
ASM, you have a customer at the entrance door?
But we
the
have,
one you dealt with on the exit door?
we have 2 other issues involved with that.
What did you want?
He wants to speak with you?
Because 2 things I see in progress there was unlawful detainment and assault, which at my choice right now I can call the police and press charge.
Actually, that never happened.
Oh no, it's on recording. So you're the one that I was going with.
You're recording, I'm not gonna help you.
No, the camera's off. Don't worry about it. Can I speak to her manager then?
She is the manager.
You said ASN, that's assistant store manager.
Yeah, that's
okay,
the
so
manager
store
right
manager?
now. That is the manager on duty.
That's the
right
manager
now.
on duty. Okay.
If you want,
Because I mean, I can call corporate then. That's fine.
he wants to know if he could talk to the store manager.
Pick up tomorrow at 7 a.m.
Okay.
Roger that.
Okay, that's fine. You know. So I'm going to get in contact with the Orange County Sheriff's Department then, and we'll just go from there.
Knock yourself out, bro.
Okay. Because I mean, like she said, you guys have cameras too. So her touching me constitutes assault. And
she asked you not to record her.
You can ask somebody not to record, but you still can't touch them. Okay, there's lines there. You still can't touch somebody. If you touch somebody, that's assault.
Okay, first of all, you had stuff in your cart that you didn't want to show the receipt on.
I showed the receipt, but she wanted to take it out of my hand. I had no problem showing the receipt.
Because she has to be able to read it.
She doesn't have to be able to.
You can't read it if somebody's holding it.
I'm holding it up. You can read it clear as day. I mean, if my eyesight's pretty good. I mean, I could see something somebody's holding in their hand with me. I don't know about hers. I'm not going to make assumptions, but I'm showing it out of courtesy. Legally, I don't have to show a receipt to leave the store with merchandise I paid for.
Okay, but
because you have other laws that play into there.
No, I know, but you have to look at it at their point.
Like I said, I was being courteous.
No, I know.
Out of respect. No,
but
she
if
did.
a person wants to if a person doesn't want to show the receipt, we ask the receipt. If you have an item, if you don't want to show the receipt, you don't have to, but you can't leave the store with the merchandise.
You can.
We don't know that you paid for it.
You have to prove, in order to prosecute somebody for stealing, though, you have to prove that they didn't pay for it.
We're not accusing you for stealing.
No, I know, but that's where you're getting at. You won't let somebody leave the store with something they paid for. That's what you're insinuating.
Do you have a return?
Yes.
May I see?
I don't have a receipt.
I just need a barcode reading.
So that's where things get twisted a little bit, because written in the law, there's nothing that says in the law that requires you to do that. I mean, I like to educate as much as I possibly can too. I deal with people all day long, and that's generally what I do. I educate as much as I can, at least in the course of my job. This is not part of my job, but it's still education. I mean, there's in other states things may be different, but I mean, just with California itself, if somebody paid for something, you can't prove that they didn't pay for it.
Well, yeah, California. I mean, they
you can't stop them.
You have a return?
I don't have a receipt, but I got these.
I just need a barcode.
Oh, okay.
But the problem is, what they did with the law now is they're. 1 second, sir.
Oh.
He's got to print something out to stick on there.
Oh, okay.
That they're screwing the company because we can, you can't.
Well,
you can't ask people for
I
the
blame the bag thing on that.
And you have a bunch of because a lot of people are taking advantage of it. They figure, okay, well, we ain't got to show that,
Well,
so we can steal all we want to
that's where
steal.
all the camera stuff and the loss prevention comes into place. Because yes, I get it. I mean, it sucks, but at the same point, there's the laws that you have to abide by, and the laws haven't been changed or rewritten for anything yet. So. Unfortunately, if somebody paid for something, they don't want to show the receipt, you can't really get in their way and stop them from leaving. You can ask for the receipt, and out of courtesy, they can show it to you if they want to. But you can't
That is
stop.
true.
You can't stop the person from leaving the store with merchandise unless you 100% can physically prove they did not pay for it. And then you can make a citizen's arrest at that point for theft. That's where the law plays in. But if you don't have the proof, you don't have the surveillance video, you don't have anybody seeing that person not paying for it, then you can't stop them. And if you make that arrest, then you can wind up being arrested for false imprisonment. There's other laws that play into it. That's what I said. I mean,
there is.
I know.
California is the worst.
I know enough about the laws, and I mean what she did, and I was being as cordial as I possibly could. But at the same point, it's like, if you want to see the receipt, I'll show you the receipt. If you want to take it out of my hand and write on it, then maybe you should say that.
But you got.
She didn't say that.
But you got to think.
Like
too.
I said, at the same point, I was being cordial enough to show her the receipt, which I don't have to. You know, and I think it gets a little carried away with how much we push on that.
But I think the problem is when people start recording people.
Well, that's
when
where
all they ask,
that's
you know, for a simple receipt.
yeah. But you want to, if in my case, I'm documenting the interaction.
Okay, so why couldn't you just hand her the receipt and let her?
I
do
showed
her
the
business? But why couldn't you just let her hold it?
Because I don't have to do that.
I know.
That's the point of it.
But that's the point.
You know, the point of it is yet again, like I said, she stopped me, prevent me from leaving.
Welcome, guys.
So there's things already that played in there where she broke the law.
Okay, no problem.
Where she broke the law. And like I said, I mean, somewhat cordial, but like I said, I don't have to show the receipt. So, in a sense, if you know, I hold up the receipt, that should be good enough.
I need to talk to ADRIANA, please.
So, I mean, if it's not, it's not. But you still can't, you know, stop somebody from leaving.
Adriana, associate wants to
Thank
speak.
you.
So, I mean,
We just come on in tomorrow.
it is, you know, it is what it is on that one. But
No, ma'am, it's an associate.
that's fine. I didn't want to talk to her anyways because she was the one that I had the issue with. So I'd rather speak to her boss. So that's fine. But you know, just where we stand on it. I mean,
I don't know.
yeah, welcome to California. But all right, well, I'll just get in touch with corporate. That'd be the easiest way to deal with it. You know, and just talk to them. And you know, like I told her, I don't make idle threats, so that video in itself will wind up going up on YouTube. So, you know, public place, you know, that's, yet again, public place on a recording, you're allowed to record in public. If somebody doesn't want you to record them, that's their
So
choice.
you record a cop who doesn't want recording, he slams you to the ground.
He still would be violating the law on that. It's First Amendment.
So why
is what it
doesn't a
falls
person
under.
have the right to say if they don't want to be recorded by you, why can't you respect that and not record them?
It's a choice of whether you want to respect it or not, but it's not a law on that one.
In other words,
because you're in public, so you're in a public place. I've had people ask that question before. If you're in a public place,
so in other
then
words, people are looking for trouble.
No, I'm not
You're
looking
causing
for
the
trouble. Not looking for trouble. If there's going to be an issue, of course I'm going to record it, or at least try to document it, because otherwise it's my word against that person's. And unfortunately, in this day and age, people's words don't exactly go that far. So physical proof or documented proof, I mean, that's great. You guys have cameras, but if I ask for a copy of that video, will you give it to me? Absolutely not. The store will say, nope, it's our property. We're not to give it up to you.
Welcome.
So it's my due diligence to keep my own documentation of any interaction I have, whether it be positive or negative. You know, it's burden of proof in a sense.
Yeah.
If you don't have proof of it, it never happened.
Well, there's a lot of folks looking to cause problems.
I'm not looking to cause problems. It's just, you know, I'm going to stand my ground on things too, because like I said, some things are just taken out of control and too far. You know, I mean, where does it stop? We get accustomed to this, but we're also breaking the law on the same point. And so, like I said, it's the education factor of it. You know. And it sucks. It sucks for stores if you get people to walk out with stuff they didn't pay for, but that's, yet again, where the loss prevention part comes in, the cameras and all that stuff. You know, get the evidence together and stop that person when they get out the door. You know, then, hey, you have every right to freaking slam that person to the ground. Well, not slam them to the ground, but detain them. You know, and like I say, slam them to the ground. Home Depot's already in a lawsuit over that. They killed somebody. You know, he used to do security years ago, so powers of arrest, I'm well aware of that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't do that shit anymore, but, you know, back to the recording part, if you're in a public place, and even cops, you can record them. If they choose to slam you because you're recording them, that cop's going to get in trouble. If the video makes it public, it's going to be a big stink.
Oh, of course.
You know, because a cop can't do that. The only thing you can't record somebody is if you go into their home and they don't have given consent. If you go into somebody's private environment, the car, the public areas are not considered private.
But the bottom line is you could have avoided the whole thing of anything even sparking if you would just handed the receipt like they asked. All you have to do is say,
like I said, she
asked
asked to show the receipt. And like I did, I showed the receipt. I didn't cover it with my fingers.
Okay,
I
so
didn't
we
cover it
need
with my
to
hand.
be careful with our words and say, may we hold your receipt.
Well, if you would have been a bit more specific, it's a matter of words. If you would have been a bit more specific about it, because you wanted me to show you the receipt, I show you the receipt. I don't necessarily, if she would have said, can you hand me your receipt, I would have said no. Because it's just, you know, to me, I don't want to hand over my receipt. That's my proof of payment. That's my proof that I paid for the stuff at the same point, so that if I give up...
You think we're going to steal the receipt from you?
I don't know what's going to happen. What happens
Really?
if...
Come on.
What happens if it disappears? I don't know.
Hi guys, welcome.
You know, this goes into the factor, you know. And if I would have said no, then what? If I say no, then I'm going to get stuck at the door.
No.
More? Because that happened before?
No.
I said no.
No.
I said no, and somebody stood right in my way for about 45 seconds. You know, that's not I mean, it's not the first time, but at the same point, there's a boundary. And where we cross that boundary is where it needs to be defined.
Yeah, well.
So, all right, boss, well, I appreciate your time.
Go ahead.
If you want to shake my hand, no, you don't have to, that's fine. All right, have a great day.